seeing a black bear is the highlight of anybody's visit to a national park. Everybody wants that magical photo of a bear crossing the parkway or a bear crossing the trail. However, what most people don't realize is while visitors to the parkway come and go, we're here for a few days, maybe a week, and then we return home. Bears and other wildlife here in the park live here full time. Our actions here while we're visiting the parkway have a direct and lasting impact on the bears and other wildlife here in the parkway. Here in the campground, probably the best thing to avoid seeing a bear or attracting a bear to your site is to not attract them to the campground in the first place. We provide the bear-proof food storage lockers as one option. The park does have mandatory food storage regulations, so if you're not at the campsite, your campsite, or you're not at your picnic site, you're required to just store your food, your cooking utensils, your pots and pans and things like that, either in the trunk of a car or provided one of the food storage lockers. Several years ago, the Blue Ridge Parkway implemented mandatory food storage regulations along the parkway, and basically what that requires is if you're staying in one of the campsites or if you're picnicking, that you safely store any type of food or cooking utensils, pots and pans, soap or deodorant, basically anything that has an odor or might serve as an attractant to bears. Basically just lift the handle to the food storage locker. As you can kind of see, there's plenty of room in there for coolers, backpacks, any kind of personal items you might have, and you can just keep them in there when you're not at the campsite, and shut the door and make sure it's good and latched. And what we do advise people is really not to leave your food unattended even for a minute. If you're by yourself and you have to go to the restroom, use the food storage locker or put your items in your car, because it only takes a second for a bear to come out of the woods and to take it off the picnic table. And again, once bears make that association with people and food, they've kind of reached a pivotal point, and their behavior may become more bold and aggressive, and it may endanger other campers or picnickers here in the future. If a bear does wander into your campsite, what we suggest is to try to remove all the food and garbage. Pick up all your food and garbage that you may have laying around the campsite. And then what we suggest is, trying to scare the bear off. Bang pots and pans together. Stand up, yell, clap your hands. Try to discourage the bear, from coming into the campsite. And so that's really the best thing to do. If the bear persists and still continues to hang around, then what I generally suggest is, just very slowly, leave the campsite, go to your car, get in the car or, some other secure area, and then, contact one of the rangers as soon as you possibly can and let them know what's going on. Everyone wants to see a bear, and generally what my suggestion is, bears, like a lot of wildlife, tend to be more active early in the morning or late in the evening. So really the best chance to see a bear is just to get off the Parkway Motor Road, go for a hike somewhere, try to get out there in the woods. And really the best thing to do if you do encounter a bear, if you do see a bear, is just kind of observe it from a distance. Park regulations do prohibit willfully approaching bear, white-tailed deer, or elk within 50 yards of them. So, keep your distance. 50 yards is about half the length of a football field, to try to, keep that in the back of your mind when you're hiking. If you are physically attacked for a bear, attacks by black bears are very rare. But if you are physically attacked, you do not want to play dead. You need to fight back aggressively with anything you've got: rocks, sticks, your backpack, bear spray if you have it. But that's generally what we recommend. You're trying to do. Despite all the "do not feed the bear" signs, a lot of folks continue to, a very small minority of visitors continue to try to, purposely feed bears or attract the bears into the campgrounds or picnic areas. Everybody wants that magical photo of a black bear for their vacation photo album. But what we suggest is, if you really want to see a bear, is really observe it from a distance. There are regulations in the park that will actually prohibit, you people from willfully approaching bears within 50 yards of a bear. And so what I generally suggest, if you really want to see a bear, invest in a good pair of binoculars. Most of the cameras today, have a digital zoom feature. Use that digital zoom, observe the bear from a distance.